much, Ikhwan, for your remarks and for walking us through this very important topic of standardization and broader sort of frameworks of the metaverse. While that was very comprehensive and I think gave us a really nice 360 view of the broader metaverse ecosystem, I think that now it's time to look at something very applied, a case study in telecommunications companies' collaboration in building a global metaverse platform, examining the ifland platform. So it's my pleasure to introduce our second keynote speakers, Mr. Ikhwan Cho, who is the Vice President and Head of the Metaverse Service Development at SK Telecom, as well as Mr. Terry Schussler, who is Senior Director of XR and Metaverse at Deutsche Telekom. Everyone, let's give it up for Mr. Cho and Schussler.
Hi, good morning. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for your time. And today we just introduced our ifland service. Maybe you already heard or not. Anyway, so we introduced our service and our collaboration with the Deutsche Telekom. So before the main introductions, we are a telecommunication company. SK Telecom is the #1 telecommunication company in South Korea. So we believe that our mission, our core business model is the communication. So our mission has always been enable the communication between the people who are not in the same place. It's like the two people, the person in the communication, or actually since the smartphone, the communication ways, the whole changed. The social communication is very important. So we are started considering what is the next generation communication. Communication is very important for our business area. So we believe that AR, VR is the future for the next generation communication. And the next generation communication should be the more the rich, more the free, more the fun, we think that. So since about 10 years ago, we started developing the service, AR, VR service, and the technology. Actually, 2018, we unveiled the first time in the social VR service. Social VR service in the VR HMD-based service. In that applications, the people just created their own avatar and watching the TV show and the movies together. Even they can also talk each other and send some message in the virtual space. And for example, you can watching the sports game in the pub. It's like the virtual pub together with your friend. So that is the beginning of our ifland service. And since then, we developed more and technology and the service and tried a lot of things. And finally, 2 years ago, we launched the ifland service in Korea. And ifland service is not just a service; it's developed based on the technology platform. So before the rest of the presentation, we don't have to worry about it. You don't have to take a picture. Just we will provide the QR code finally. Anyway, the ifland, the ethereal platform is kind of some set of some technology, to develop the AR, VR, or Metaverse service and the platform. For example, the avatar. Avatar is very important in the Metaverse. We build in-house our own avatar system to customize, the control, and create some content. Also, as I told you, the communication is very important. We need a different type of the technology to communicate some 3D assets, 3D avatar activity, whole 3D environment for some synchronizations. So not just only the service, the experience, not just only the technology side. ifland is the all output combination from the technology and the service. Also, our telco communication is service. So I can tell you that ifland is the best place, the best way to build your own virtual content, virtual space, what you dream. So since the first launch 2 years ago, we make some dramatic growth. First of all, And actually, 2 years ago, we launched the ifland service. And last year, we launched it globally, including almost 50 countries. And at this time, almost 4 million people all around the world enjoyed our ifland service. It's like some social activity inside. So what is ifland? What is ifland? I can tell you, ifland is, in ifland, you can create your own avatar, and in the virtual space, any virtual space, you can make the new type of the social activity. That is the ifland service. Ifland is not just the gaming. Ifland is not just the simple prototype. It's a commercialized service, and it's like the new type of next generation social service. So firstly, avatar. So as I told you, we developed the avatar system. Avatar system is to create, the user just to create their own avatar, because and for this, the avatar system is we provide the whole functionality, and also we provide a lot of the content, including right now, actually, they listed almost 20,000 custom for the avatar systems. So all you can control and you can customize from the face on the whole costumes. And also we provide the virtual space. Virtual space is in our system is the two types. The first one is the Ikhwan. Ikhwan is kind of the personal space for your individual. And if square is like the public space. In public space means that everyone can use that space. Actually, for example, Ikhwan is your personal space, and you can decorate the whole things with a lot of the design item. For example, if you want to build your house in the beach, you can build your house on the beach. Or you can want to build your home in the space, you can do that. And also, if square is like the public space. Public space means it's not just owned the individual one. You can use this place when you need that. So, for example, if you want to educate something in the virtual space, you are a student with your student or something like this kind of audience, you can utilize the classroom or the universal classroom, and also. You can use some party place in the virtual party place. It's like a rooftop place. Even just you can use the golf course. If maybe you want to talk about some golf. So these places, we already provide almost 20 places. Even just some places from the real place. For example, in ifland, we provide the Sentosa Island. Maybe you can check it out. And New York Square, or some kind of the university or the other city. So finally, the most important is the social activity. Maybe you all use the social media, but we want to try to make the new type of the social activity. So it's like we provide some conventional type of the 2D or the image, something like that, the social media activity, and also we can provide some new type of the social activity. For example, inside the Ikhwan, as I told you, the Ikhwan is your personal space. Personal space means that you can decorate your 3D space. If you want to build something, and you can show your space to your friend. And for example, in our service, some people just actually decorate the karaoke system in their home and they just sing together. And also some K-pop idol just make their home, their Ikhwan in the 3D space, and they just communicate with their fans. So if square is the bigger space in the public space, so they can use this space for some social activity. A lot of the people just make the virtual meetup or the virtual fan meeting, virtual event. For example, it's like the live streaming based the virtual event, or the K-pop star is just open the concert with unique volumetric video. And also they can real-time interact inside this application with their fans. So firstly, we'll just started from the virtual meetup based on our IP scale. And this year, finally, we just launched the Ikhwan service for the personal space. That means that not just only the public space. You can, individual, our user can create their own space. It's kind of the archive that they are memorizing. And also, we are aimed to some social metaverse service, which means the social inside that social metaverse, everything can be. If you want to be someone, and you can be there. And for this social metaverse service, we build the economic system, and also we are just applied the new technology, including the generative AI, NFT, something like that. So we believe the economic system is very important for the motivation. So for the users or creators, the monetization, we provide the platform, content platform, which means everyone can be the creator. They can create some content, which means it's like the avatar costume and the design item for your e-form and the square, and you can create it anyway. And sell the content from our platform services, which means that based on this economic system, all people, all influencers, all creators can make some monetizations. So our mission is to communicate, not only just the local country. We just want all over the world and all people just to communicate each other in the virtual space beyond just beyond the language barrier or the reason barrier, the time barrier. So we just expand not just only to the global wide. Actually, at this time, almost 30% active user is from the outside Korea. But we think that we need more understanding about some of the new people in the different region, the different culture. So we started some partnership. Actually, we already started the partnership with the Deutsche Telekom. Maybe the Terry will describe in detail. So we just want more the partnership to understand our people. I mean, there's some potential our customer. So finally, our vision is, as I told you, the social metaverse world. In the social metaverse world, everyone can do anything, and also communication and make some monetizations. For this one, we will expand our service feature, and also we will apply the new technology. And also, I hope we're looking forward to some more partnership in. If you have any interest, come to me to talk to me about that. Yes. Thank you, Perry.
Hi, everybody. By the way, I love that there's magenta lighting. Thank you, AWE, for remembering how much I love the color magenta. So I work for Deutsche Telekom, and to give you a little bit of a background, Deutsche Telekom is the European's leading operator. We operate in over 50 countries. We have about 250 million customers and 206,000 employees spread throughout the world. And we, in the United States, have enjoyed significant growth through our subsidiary T-Mobile, and we're now the #2 operator in the United States. So we do this by focusing on a lot of value proposition, delivering a lot of value proposition to our customers. And as we look at XR technologies for the last decade and explored lots of ways to enable better user-to-user communication, which is the primary function of an operator, we saw a lot of alignment in the work that was being done by SK Telecom. And so, in fact, very recently, we announced a global AI Telco alliance just in the end of July this year, where we're focusing together on creating an open vendor ecosystem to support taking AI technologies and bringing them forward into user experiences like Metaverse. And so I think that alignment has also been realized in our thinking about Metaverse and XR technologies and the journey that Ikhwan showed in terms of how they took over the last 10 years this journey to get to where they are with ifland. We've also done similar work in focusing on things like co-watching and VR, which we launched in 2016. And as we looked through the impact of the pandemic, we started to realize that on top of having the ability to co-watch, have a virtual living room experience with people who are physically distant from each other, there's also this idea of what I call co-experiencing. And so this idea that we could share the experience of something together and have more presence. And so this is really where we have decided in our collaboration with the SK Telecom to focus in on more meaningful exchange between human beings through a Metaverse platform. And so what we're doing in our focus here is really leaning into our brand promise to customers, which is life is for sharing. And sharing knowledge, sharing experience, sharing culture. These are things that we're very, very interested in learning how to do better and how to enable users or customers to have better experiences with. So in my journey in XR for a long time, I have focused on this idea of the proximity principle, which is as we get physically closer together, we build emotional bonds. And when we have physical presence with each other, we're able to lean into the ideas of body language, spatial audio or oral context, and this sense of emotional connection becomes very valuable when you're trying to sort of get people to engage in a new form of communication. You have to add value to it, not just because it's interesting technology, but you have to have it mean more to the user. And so the impact of a very big user avatar selection interface that ifland had was very influential in my thinking about leaning into partnering with SK Telecom and looking at ways that we can learn a lot. And so our focus is on these different learnings. We want to understand what gets people interested. I remember going into the sandbox the first time, and it looked pretty, but then everybody went in there, and I could hear people going, "There's nothing to do here. It's empty. There's nobody here to talk to. There's no interactivity. Why am I here?" So you could build the most beautiful, empty palaces, but if you just put people in there without any purpose and any meaningful exchange with other users, they're not going to stay there. They're just going to come in, look around, and go, "Okay, that was boring," and leave and never come back again. So we really are trying to study and understand user behavior that creates engagement, creates retention, and creates value, so that we're not just doing this for technology's sake, but we're doing it for a meaningful purpose. So these are some of the things that we're focusing on. And in the context of ifland, in our collaboration right now, we're primarily focusing on the meetups, using the public if square locations as well as private if home persistent venues to create meaningful exchange between users. Taking my domain expertise and sharing it with other people, or having people of like-minded interests in pop culture or sports or music to be able to come together and share on those topics. So that's really our primary focus. And in the process of doing that, we've also looked at working with SK Telecom to understand how to take a regional point of view, right? So Deutsche Telekom is German-centric, but also European-centric. But then there's also the US side of things, and trying to understand how to build a platform that can appeal culturally is a very interesting challenge. So we've worked very carefully to focus in on diversity, equity, and inclusion in our thinking about how do people get to represent themselves on a personal level as avatars inside of ifland. So we did a lot of work with SK Telecom to start to guide the avatar design experience to allow for non-uniform look in body shape, in the position of the nose or the eyes on the face, the shape of the nose, and also significant amount of different hairstyles, African American hairstyles, European hairstyles, and kind of leaning into that first. And then on top of that, we started to focus in on avatar design costumes. So people that dress a certain way in Asia may not be the same way that they dress in India or in the US or in Germany, and we wanted to work and learn, how do we create really good sort of digital presence for people? Because if they're able to express themselves, I always wear magenta, as a telecom brand ambassador, I want to be able to have magenta clothing. I want to be able to, I even have my skin color magenta inside the platform. I want to be able to have that flexibility to express myself, right? And so this is an important part of the journey that we've been going through in our collaboration. The other thing is we're studying different formats for the meetups. So different kinds of interaction models. You know, me here, one to many, or if Ikhwan was on the stage with me together, a few to many, or a panel discussion, or you know, a variety of different forms like meet and greet, you know, in a fan basis with a celebrity or an influencer or a sports star. Also this idea of co-watching and co-experiencing, right? So can we, you know, enjoy a sporting event together? Can we learn about topics together? Can we have meaningful dialogue with each other around specific topics? So we are studying these different models of interaction. And then we're also studying different topics. So we're looking at, you know, primarily I would say these first 5, gaming, travel, sport, entertainment, and sustainability, interestingly enough, which Dr. Ikhwan mentioned was an interesting focus area for IEEE. And this is also a big, important topic for operators as well, as we, you know, consume a lot of energy as we deliver our services to customers. So we're very focused on being carbon neutral and sustainable in our thinking. And so also, you know, other lifestyle, you know, activities, right? So it's about personal, you know, user-to-user focus, B2C, if you will, rather than, you know, thinking just about B2B use cases, which has been the traditional use of XR technologies in the past. So with that being said, I wanted to thank you. And as Ikhwan, you want to come up? We also wanted to share a QR code with you, so the entire presentation that you just saw is available to you as a downloadable PDF, and we hope that you enjoy it. So thank you.